Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Pablo, and welcome back to GGsports. I'm bringing you guys another episode of the Cincinnati Bengals realistic rebuild here in Madden 19. And we have a few things to get into before we finally get into the first preseason game. I will be debuting new jerseys. Yes, I have modified the jerseys that the Bengals will be wearing. But before we get into that matchup, I want to remind you guys to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Go ahead and hit that bell icon while you're at it so you don't miss another one of these episodes. But what we're doing before we get into the gameplay, which starts at around 3 minutes or so, we're going to make some signings to fill out our preseason roster. We're going to be giving a tryout to some of the guys that you're going to see here coming shortly. And maybe these guys will make the team, because we still do need some depth, because going through the offseason, we made a few impact signings, but there weren't a lot of signings for depth. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit here now that the free agency pool has settled. We're signing free safety Navon Mosley to go behind Jesse Bates. If he plays well this preseason, he likely will be the backup free safety. And then we're signing halfback power running back Siwo Olonilua. And I'm probably saying his name wrong, but this is a power back out of TCU that we want to give some reps to this preseason to become maybe the power back, the guy who we give it to when we're 1 or 2 yards out. So we'll be seeing if he can come in and play that role. Patrick Carr or Wendell Smallwood likely will wrap up the backup running back role, but we do want to have a utility running back that we can use in those goal line situations. But we're also signing BJ Finney, left guard, and that's a depth move as well. We need depth on the offensive line. Last season there were a few injuries to some of our older guys, so we want to make sure we have a few guys waiting in the wings that could come right in and make an impact, and we won't drop off that much in terms of skill. But then we're signing left outside linebacker Isaiah Simmons. This is an athletic linebacker who we can use to cover running backs and tight ends. As you guys know, if you follow the series, last season the Bengals got tore up by running backs and tight ends, and that's something that's been consistent for the Bengals and has transferred over to this franchise from real life, because in real life the Bengals really need some athletic linebackers, and they hadn't been able to get those guys, and as a result they get torched by running backs out of flats and tight ends over the middle. But here is the offensive depth chart. We have 65 players on our roster right now. Tyree Jackson will be sitting. AJ Green will be sitting as well. Joe Mixon we also plan to have sit. Defensively, we have a few more guys starting. William Jackson will be in there. Pierre Desir, Drake Kirkpatrick, Trey Lamar, and a lot of the other usual suspects on defense are starting in this game. But before we get started with this game, I want to give you guys a reminder of the players to watch. Some of the guys from our 2020 draft class that you definitely want to keep an eye on. The QB position is definitely my most intriguing position, so that's the position I'm going to be watching out for the most. I'm going to be monitoring the performance of some of the guys that we have, such as Sam Ehlinger out of Texas, and I hope you guys enjoyed the fact that you could see film on these guys in the description of the last video. So if you look in the description of the last video, there's film. You can see all of these guys and how they play in real life to get a better idea of what these players are going to bring to the Bengals in this franchise. But like I said, Sam Ehlinger will be starting the game. He's a player we want to watch. But the Jaguars have drafted Cole McDonald out of Hawaii, so definitely a highly regarded QB prospect. We're going to see how he translates his game from college over to the NFL. 3rd down and 10, he's dropping back, going to fire in a nice tight pass to his tight end and moves the chains. So nice start for Cole McDonald, but quickly turns the other way as Jalen Hawkins picks him off. That's a user pick, and Jalen Hawkins, our 3rd round safety, already making an impact. He lined up in the box there, was lurking in zone coverage, and the quarterback never saw him. So Jalen Hawkins wastes no time letting the NFL know he's here and he'll be an impact player as he comes away with a takeaway on his first defensive drive of his career. So Sam Ehlinger and the offense gets the ball back, and Wendell Smallwood will be starting at running back in place of Joe Mixon. He's going to sit this one out. We don't want to risk any sort of injury with him. But there is Sam Ehlinger finding Denzel Mims, Wookiee wide receiver out of Baylor, and he drops that pass though. We're going screen pass to Patrick Carr on the next play though. He picks up a few yards, but not enough for a first down. So the offense not looking too good as we have to punt, but we're missing a lot of players. This game is primarily for evaluation purposes and film purposes because a lot of the players that'll be starting are going to be out. But we also want to see how Alex Leatherwood, our first round left tackle, will be starting today. So definitely look out for how he's able to open up running lanes and protect the quarterback in this game. And there is a sack for Jalen Hawkins, and he continues to make plays as that will effectively end the drive of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it seems like Jalen Hawkins is single-handedly stopping this Jags offense. And on 3rd down and 10, Tyler Boyd, one of the starters from last year, is playing in this game, but he does fumble. That would get called back though. Our drive would continue. 3rd down and 6, Sam Ehlinger overthrows Denzel Mims, and that brings his stat total to 2 for 6 for 31 yards. So not a good start for Sam Ehlinger in this one, having a hard time getting acclimated to the speed of the NFL. And this is a tough defense anyway. They have a lot of good players, so we'll see how he plays next week. But right now he's not playing too well. 2 for 7 after that pass is batted down, and Patrick Carr on his first NFL rush is brought down for a loss of 3 yards. So not a good way to start off your NFL career there. And Leonard Fournette picks up a first down for the Jacksonville Jaguars as they are trying to move the ball now. They're going to dump off a check down to him. Will Grier is now in the game for Cole McDonald. And we actually get the ball back after stopping them, but we would not be able to get anything going. So we have to punt it right back to them. This is a defensive game. There's a lot of backups playing right now, so there's not a lot of offense being scored. But Jeremy Hill, ex-Bengal, is playing with this Jacksonville Jaguars second team and picks up a first down. Will Grier going deep to the end zone will be picked off by newly signed Cincinnati Bengals Ron Parker. And this is a guy you've seen start in this league. You know he can make plays. There he picks off the second-year quarterback Will Grier, who actually led the Jags to a pretty impressive season last year, or a pretty impressive record, but obviously was not good enough, and the Jags felt like they could upgrade at QB, and they drafted Cole McDonald. So they took kind of a Bengals route where they started a late-round draft pick last season. You guys saw Will Grier and Tyree Jackson face off versus each other last year. But not only did they have a young QB that played well the previous season, they turned around and drafted a guy that they thought could perform maybe a little bit better. But Sam Ehlinger does complete his 3rd pass of the day over the middle to Auden Tate. That could have been a touchdown to his resume, but Auden Tate was brought down just short, and we finish off the drive and take the lead as Siwo Olonilua scores the touchdown, and we go up 7-0. And those are the situations where we are thinking of utilizing that player. The running back, we want to see him be able to punch in touchdowns from a yard or two out. But Will Grier will be picked off for the second time today. Drake Kirkpatrick gets some that time, and we are kind of seeing right now why the Jaguars did not have faith in him and drafted a QB so high. And I was so tempted to do the same thing, but Tyree Jackson just played too well for me to spend a high pick on a QB. But I guess Will Grier is not the same situation for the Jags. But the guy we did draft, Sam Ehlinger out of Texas, is picked off as we have just under 30 seconds before half. He took a shot there. You want to see him complete the pass. to the drag route who was open, pick up the new set of downs, and maybe utilize the 2 timeouts he had left rather than taking a shot deep and eventually throwing an interception. So definitely some room for improvement in the decision-making department for Sam Ehlinger, and I don't have a problem with that. He's a rookie QB. I definitely think he'll be able to tighten that up. But D'Eriq King is now in the game and will be finishing off the second half. So this is an exciting player. I hope you guys are excited to see him. I was excited to play with him. Here he is juking the defender and sliding after a gain. He's up to 20 rushing yards so far, and he has the Bengals offense hype right now because, like I said, he's an explosive player, and the other players are definitely feeding off of his energy as we are on the move now past the 50-yard line. D'Eriq King rolling out to the right side, gonna fire this one into Denzel Mims, who comes up with the catch for 19 yards, and that would be D'Eriq King's first completion. Here he is rolling out to the right side with some daylight, gonna get brought down at the 2-yard line, pushed out of bounds. Second down and goal. He's sacked though and will fumble it. The Jags recover it, and we come away with 0 points on this red zone trip. And another department where our rookie QBs can improve, holding on to the football. There, you have to be mindful of where you are and everything you did to get down to that point and hold on to the football, even through the contact and even through the sack that he took there. But we are able to get a stop and get the ball back, and Auden Tate this time has the case of butterfingers, and he fumbles the football, and the Jags recover again. So 2 straight fumbles for the Bengals offense. And in the preseason game, you're seeing second and third team players, but you still don't want to see this number of fumbles. So that's going to be a point of emphasis for Zac Taylor and the Bengals in the coming week of practice. And there they get an unnecessary roughness call, which will give the Jaguars a few more yards at the end of that play. And there is Isabella, the wide receiver. You do not normally see him make plays, but here he is playing with the third team and getting some burn and some action here in the preseason. But I thought Isabella would be a much more impressive player and will be playing with the first team somewhere, but apparently that's not the case. But anyway, the Jags turn it over on downs, and Patrick Carr gets the first touch on our next offensive possession, and there he jukes 2 Jacksonville Jags out of their socks. But unfortunate news, Siwo Olanilua will be out on this play after he is injured, and he will miss the next several games. There will be more to come on this injury, but that has to be devastating for a player who seemed like he was gonna get a shot to really make the team and most likely was going to make the team, but it is not certain that he will make the team now that he is hurt. So often when players are hurt in preseason, they are cut and they are not retained for the remainder of the season. But we'll wait and see, because I think he's a player that the Bengals need. But we'll just have to wait and see how everything turns out, whether or not he is able to make the team or not. But D'Eriq King does give the Jacksonville Jaguars back after his second fumble of the day, and both of them have been lost. So the Jags now have a chance to tie the game up at 7 or cut it down to 4. And D'Eriq King, you really have to tighten up those fumble problems. He's been impressive otherwise, has shown some really explosive feet, some really accurate throws, but just has to hold on to the football. Simple as that. But in any case, the Jags are going to Josh Jacobs, who can't get anything to go there. 4th down and goal for the Jags again. Will Greer under pressure throws an incomplete pass, and the Bengals defense picks up exactly where they left off last season with great red zone defense. So another red zone stand, and there you see how Patrick Carr has been able to pick things up today. And another fumble for D'Eriq King, his 3rd of the day. This time it's recovered for a touchdown. So this is very disappointing. D'Eriq King, I don't know how you can fumble that many times in a game. I may need to look at the fumble slider, but it doesn't seem to be everybody that's fumbling. But Auden Tate did fumble one earlier. That was a big hit, but maybe I do need to adjust the fumble slider. So leave a comment and let me know if there are too many fumbles, and I may need to go ahead and make that adjustment. But here is D'Eriq King taking the hit that time, does not fumble, but brings his rushing total up to 45 yards. And that's where he's been most effective here. But with his fumbling problems, you want to see him finish this run with a slide, but he does get us over midfield. And with under 2 minutes to go, we now have a chance to take the lead. Auden Tate is wide open for the touchdown. D'Eriq King rolled out to the left side, found Auden wide open, and we capitalize and take the lead 13-7 pending the extra point. Auden Tate has been very impressive today. He's been crisp out of his routes. There you see on the out route, beats the defender clearly by several steps and waltzes his way into the end zone. Great find by D'Eriq King, extending the play, rolling out to the left side out of the pocket. Auden Tate, though, like I said, has been very impressive. He was signed to a pretty big deal for the type of player he is. Last offseason hadn't really gotten playing time or lived up to that, but he does that time as we take the lead. And Trey Lamar picking up again. Like I said, this defense is picking up where they left off, but Trey Lamar specifically picked up where he left off last season and picks off Will Grier to seal this game, and the Bengals win this one by a final score of 14-7. We've had really impressive performances today by D'Eriq King, Patrick Carr, Auden Tate, Jalen Hawkins on defense. Drake Kirkpatrick played very well on defense as well. Trey Lamar was flying everywhere. So this was a very impressive game for the Bengals. Got a lot of good tape out there, a lot of film there for the coaches to digest and for the players to look at and improve. But 127 yards and a touchdown for D'Eriq King. Sam Ehlinger, though, has to be the most concerning of the draft picks. He was playing first team, and he may not be used to doing that. He was playing against NFL talent, NFL starters, and looked like he was rattled in the moment, to be honest. So Tyree Jackson nursing his injury, we definitely want him to get back and take over the starting reins, because it looks like he's the best QB in the room right now. But Auden Tate, in his best game as a Bengal, even though it came in preseason, does finish with 133 yards on 6 receptions. But like I said, defensively, Jalen Hawkins definitely was the player to watch. 9 tackles, 2 of them for losses, a sack, and an interception. So what a day for the rookie safety. And, you know, when he has games like this, a game like this puts the idea of trading Sean Williams in my head to get back some players who can maybe contribute and make this team a true Super Bowl contender. But I do want to allow Jalen Hawkins to sit for a year under Sean Williams before I make any decisions like that. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got a good look at some of the rookie 2020 class that we have coming in. Hope you guys are excited for the season. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys thought of the jerseys, and let me know if you guys want to see more preseason action. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, and maybe the regular season, and maybe one final preseason episode to get another look at these rookies. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.